What's up with the competition in real estate? Like that, everybody knows that. It's just like, I personally know, I have 2 realtors in the room right now. I know.
He's not a realtor.
Right?
He's in new home sales.
Stay out of the camera, Tanvir. Like I was saying, it's a special podcast. We have family in the house. Erica Ammar is my sister-in-law and a mother to 3 beautiful 2 beautiful nephews and 1 beautiful niece that I have.
Correct.
Taimur, Jawad, and Rana, and is a wife to my brother Dr. Tarek Ammar. And it's so nice to have you here.
Thank you.
And Erica, you came into our family in 2003. That's when you and Tarek got married,
Yes,
right?
correct. Yeah.
And ever since I've known you, obviously when you came here, you were from Calgary originally, which is a bit of an awkward step all on its own. Just especially for Tarek, like to give up the Calgary Flames for the Edmonton Oilers.
I know. What was he thinking? Hey.
What were you thinking? That's what I'm asking. Okay, so when you got here and got married, you got into real estate right away. Like as long as I've known you,
Yes.
you were passionate about real estate. So I thought we'd do this podcast today based on, the real estate market, especially when it has to do with Edmonton, surrounding areas, and even Alberta. So I just thought we'd kind of go through the process of what it's like, not only just being a mother and being a wife and dealing with being a realtor and having that busy schedule, but how the market's fluctuated and where we're at nowadays in Edmonton for whether it's a buyer's market or seller's market. So I know at the beginning you started with Remax?
With Remax Elite.
With Remax Elite. And this was in 2003, right off the hop.
Yeah.
So maybe take us to the beginning. Why'd you even choose real estate?
So I took oil and gas actually in Calgary.
Okay.
And I used to work at Husky Energy.
I actually remember you telling me that when we first went to Calgary.
And then when we got married, Tarek and I came here, I moved to Edmonton. I wasn't a 9-to-5 kind of person. I couldn't work for an office anymore. Being in oil and gas just wasn't for me.
Yeah.
So Tarek actually recommended.
Did he?
Yeah. He was like,
he's got good recommendations.
He does, yeah. He's like, you're very sociable. You like to socialize. Why don't you get into real estate? And at that time, I was 20. I knew nothing about real estate. And
you don't look any different, by the way.
Thank you.
From what I knew you now to I just thought about it when you said it. I'm like, she doesn't look any different. You age gracefully.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So I ended up taking the course, and I did it through the real estate board, and I passed, and I really liked it. I enjoyed it.
You passed on your first try?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
And I actually started with Century 21 for about 7 months.
Okay.
Then I moved to Remax Elite.
Gotcha.
And that was a great move. At that time, I joined a team, and that was really beneficial for me. I grew a lot. I learned a lot. I developed a passion for real estate.
And this was here in Edmonton?
It was here in Edmonton, yeah.
Was it a big team?
It was about 10 people or so at the time.
Is that considered a big team in real estate?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
And I honestly just thrived from there. Over the years, I stayed with that team, and I grew and I developed, and it was great. It was great to be on there. I had a support system there, and I really enjoyed what I did. It was hard. You had to cold call. The market then was a little bit different than now.
Meaning what? Could you elaborate on that? Like how different was the market?
The market there was, I would say, a lot tougher. Listings would sit a little bit longer on the market, 2003, 4, 5. There was still a lot of competition like there is now.
That was the major differences?
That was the main differences, I guess.
Okay.
And you had to call a lot of comfrey. Even though you were on a team, you still had to call and market yourself and develop yourself as a realtor. And I was young at that time. So,
yeah, of course, 20.
So, yes.
Yeah.
So
were you good at cold calls?
Because
I remember doing that in car sales. I was like, oh, I hate
it's
cold
tough.
calling.
You hear a lot of no's. You get rejected.
Of course.
But you just have to move forward. You grow as a person. Your character gets stronger, and you develop more. But it was good overall. Like starting off on that team helped me, I guess, become where I am now.
And you were one of the top salespeople.
Yes, I was. Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that clearly. So now, like fast forward all this time and everything you've learned, where are we at now?
So right now I'm an independent realtor at Maxwell Polaris.
And that's who you're licensed with now?
And that's who I'm licensed with. Okay. It's a Canadian company. It's a great company. I really just wanted to, I've been independent for the past couple of years. Mm-hmm. I just really wanted to have a nice balance with work and with family. Okay. Because early on in my career, I worked a lot. Mm-hmm. As you recall.
Yeah, of course.
Tarek was very supportive, my husband and my parents-in-law.
Yeah.
So without them, I don't think I would have achieved what I achieved over the years.
Yeah, of course.
So
we all need help.
Yes, you do. Absolutely. Yeah. And it's nice to have that support in that family, because when I came here, I didn't have anybody but you guys.
Yeah, that's
right?
true. That's true.
So now I have a nice balance. It's family and work, and I make time for both.
Okay, so what kind of real estate are you in now? Is it the same as when it started? Has it changed?
Yeah, no, it's pretty much the same. I sell residential property, which includes condos, duplexes, townhouses. I do mobiles, I do leases, and I dabble into a little bit of commercial.
And this is just in Edmonton, or it can be
Edmonton
as far as
and surrounded area.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay, that's not bad.
Surrounding areas, yeah.
Okay. Now, when you first started, how were the fees? And I know I'm kind of going off topic, but what was it like for a realtor to start then and a realtor to be starting off now? Are the fees any different? Is the licensing process any different?
The licensing process is different. It's a lot tougher now to become a realtor.
Okay.
I'm not sure what the process is. I mean, I got licensed, 2004, almost 15,
That's
16
old school
years
for
ago.
you.
Yeah.
Like, we don't need to go back.
But I do know that it's a lot tougher.
Mm-hmm.
Back then, it was like a 3-week course and you did an exam. But really, that's nothing compared to real life and on a day-to-day, what you do in real estate. But it's very different now. It is very different. And the fees are similar. It depends which brokerage you're licensed to.
Yeah.
So every brokerage has different fees. But there's a lot of expenses that come with it. There's, brokerage fees, licensing fees, board fees, marketing fees, listing fees. There's a lot of fees that you have to pay up front.
So you got to do well to be able to afford it and keep your head above water and provide and all that.
Absolutely.
Okay. And obviously, like I said before, being a mother and a wife presents its own challenges when you have a full-time job, especially a career like real estate. What were some of the challenges that you found besides making the time and having, family and whoever it was, your support system to help you out? What were some of the challenges beyond that you found in real estate?
It was, it's really time consuming. It was, real estate can be demanding. Like your clients call you 24/7. You're available 24/7 to work. You could be making supper and you get a text to go show a property, and you really have to drop everything and go.
Because you never know when that day is going to be your day. Right?
Exactly. So,
like one sale could make your month.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And you want to be available for your clients as well, because sometimes they work full time, only evenings and weekends, or sometimes like I've gone to a property at 9 or 10 o'clock at night because that's the only time my client can go. So you really have to be accommodating for them. And that's like the hardest part is developing a schedule for yourself and being on call 24/7 and just kind of realizing you really have to work smart and not hard sometimes.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, especially when you're making your own schedule and
exactly.
you're in a way self-employed, like you're
and
responsible
that's a bonus.
for your own
That's
hours.
A bonus to have. A lot of people can't work 9 to 5. I myself, I don't mind being on call. If somebody calls me working evenings and weekends, I honestly don't mind. That's my personality. And I think that's one of the benefits that I've been so successful is because I don't mind working evenings and weekends. And if somebody does call me at 7 o'clock at night to go see a property, I literally jump in my car and go.
Yeah. Kids, dinner's at the table.
Yeah. But mind you, I have a support team that helps me. Like my husband helps a lot at home, right? So I have the ability to do that.
Okay.
But over the years, you actually... my schedule is it's a nice balance now. I don't work as much as I used to. And that was my goal, being an independent realtor.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So what made you, if I can ask you this question, what made you, because ever since I've known you, you've always been a go-getter. Like everybody knows that about you in the family, is that you don't wait for anybody. You get shit done, like in layman terms. But what do you think made you thrive in real estate? Like what put you, because you did very well. So what makes you excel? Like, not that you want to give away your secrets, but I thought we'd talk a little bit about that. Since we got another realtor in the house.
I actually really, really enjoy what I do. I love selling real estate.
What do you love about it?
I love everything about it. I love the schedule. I love meeting people and going and coming and setting my own hours and showing people the whole process of what they can buy, what they can afford. Investors, that first-time home buyers that don't know what they're doing. Investors, I work with a lot of clients that invest property, and because I'm one of them as well, I like to invest, and I think it's a great way to build your equity, your wealth. It's a long-term investment, but just educating people about real estate, it's just, I enjoy it. I enjoy everything about it. You work hard, it's demanding, but it can be rewarding as well. So
do you feel like people are more educated then than they are now, or like obviously you've been teaching people about real estate in the process of doing your job.
Absolutely.
Do you find that people are more misled?
No, they're educated. I mean, like nowadays everybody all the buyers work with realtors, which they should.
Like as part of the process.
It's part of the process. You need to be educated. And I educate my clients. Even before we put an offer, I pull comparables like most realtors do. You pull and see what's available, what's sold recently. At the end of the day, the true value of what a property is worth is what a buyer's willing to pay for it, right? I mean, something
you have to see the value in it.
You have to see the value in it. And that's to each their own buyer.
It's like a piece of art.
Absolutely.
You're going to pay what you feel is the right number.
Is the right number, regardless of what the market dictates, right? But your job as a professional is to bring them the comparables and show them what sold recently in their neighborhood or what they're purchasing in the building, and then they make that decision, right?
Okay.
So
speaking of the market, what is the market like nowadays? Because that seems to be on top of everybody's mind.
Yeah, the market right now, it is, as we call it, a buyer's market. We are in a declining market, unfortunately. There is a lot of listings on the market. We have over 7,000 listings on the market, and that's more than we had the last couple of years.
So it is truly a buyer's market.
It's truly a buyer's market. With that said, also the last couple of years, the stress test came into play. And
what is that?
So the stress test is the federal government put in a stress test for buyers to qualify. So if you were qualifying for a $400,000 house, and the interest rate was 3.3, you would have to qualify at 5.4. So they would just have to make sure you would qualify at a higher interest.
So just in case.
Just in case, to make sure that you can afford the payments if interest rates go up or things change.
Which obviously makes it a little harder on
the
guy that's on that brink.
So that's kind of over the last couple of years why the market's changed for a lot of younger couples, younger families that are in a condo or a townhouse and they're wanting to buy their first home, single family home. It's a lot tougher for them. So they have to make sure the payments or they qualify to make the payments. So that stress test really, really has affected real estate quite a bit. Interest rate has gone up. So unfortunately, the market's not the way it used to be.
Is that just in Edmonton, or do you find that happening all over the country, in the West, in Alberta? Like what?
It's kind of happening all over.
Okay.
Vancouver's
so even in Vancouver,
absolutely. Toronto, yeah.
Okay, so I guess what would you recommend for people that are thinking of selling their home? Because obviously it's happening a lot. Everybody's in that market. What are some of the steps that somebody could take to put their house up for sale? Like obviously the realtor is doing a lot of the work, but there are things, especially because we mentioned working with your realtor, there are things that the seller can do to help the process along and make it maybe a little bit easier or a little bit more what's the word?
Sellable.
Sellable. Yeah. So what are some of the things that a seller can do?
So honestly, in this market right now, it's really, really great for the sellers to understand where the current market is and understand pricing their property is very, very important. That's step one. As professionals, we give them comparables that sold similar to their homes, and we really guide them to what they should be listing their property at. Tips on what they could do to make their house more sellable. The first thing I would say is declutter. You're going to be moving anyways.
Don't be a hoarder.
Don't be a hoarder. You're going to be moving anyways. And I always say this to my clients. Start packing. Start getting rid of the stuff that you don't need. Because when you go to move, it'll be a lot easier for you. When we have showings, try to tidy up and clean countertops, everything off, especially kitchen. Because when buyers walk through the home, and when I'm with a buyer and I'm showing them the property, they want to envision their stuff and their space and the layout and the square footage.
And they want it to smell good.
That doesn't, of course. Yeah. Like,
because you go into some of these foreclosures and you're like, what happened
There's
here?
There's a lot of those now.
It's an abandoned home.
The
price might be attractive, but that's the only thing that's attractive. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So no, there's little things like steam cleaning carpets, tidying up, decluttering.
So some elbow grease. You got to put in some work.
Absolutely.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Tanvir, you're in real estate and you're young and you're fresh at it. What kind of questions do you have for Erica? Somebody that's, how long have you, so what, we're talking 16 years?
Almost 16 years, yeah.
Wow. Good for you.
Thank you.
Not many people can stick to one thing for 16 years. Tanvir, what's on your mind as far as real estate? Do you have anything?
I always want to, I want to know, where do you think it's going? I know you're speculating you don't know where it's going to go, but what, if you had a guess, where do you think it's going to go? Do you think it's going to stay the same, go back up, go down? Hope, God forbid, but. Yeah,
I think we are in a declining market right now. And when I say declining, it's not like 20% down. No, it's just a few percentage.
Enough for people like you to notice.
Yes.
Maybe not the average person is going to be like, oh.
Yeah, what happens is when we get overpopulated with listings, the supply and demand, there's not that many buyers out for the amount of listings we have. So listings tend to sit on the market for a long period of time. Even average days on market compared to the last 2 years have gone down.
Do you have those numbers?
I do. I do have those numbers. Cool. Even the last couple of months. So in January, average days on market was 93 days or 83 days. What was it? Let me just double check.
Yeah.
84 days.
Thank you for being prepared, by the way.
Yeah. And then in February, it's 73 days. So it's getting better as spring comes.
Are interest rates going up right now?
They are going up right now. Yeah. Okay. They tend to go up and down. But I mean, even right now, it's still good. Compared to a couple of years ago, they were 4 point something. So right now they're in the threes. And I mean, honestly, it's very reasonable. It's affordable. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What do you think? I wanted to ask you this. I kind of asked it before, but I like I said before, you've always been a go-getter. But what do you think you offer a client, a friend? If I had a friend, obviously I'm going to send them to you because you're family. But what would be some of the reasons that I'm sending somebody to you versus Tanvir? What things do you personally? We're going to get personal. But what things do you bring to the table that you find make you excel? Besides, great personality and knowing the market and all that. But what are the extras that you seem to be doing? And we're going to put up a flyer of some of the stuff that you've been sending out. We'll put it up on the screen.
Honestly, I think what it comes down to it is I really care about my clients. I really care about the outcome.
As you should.
The outcome. I don't just sell them a property just to sell them the property. I want them to be happy. I want them to be content with what they're purchasing or what they're selling. I'm a hard worker. I honestly am a hard worker. I do what I can to sell the property. I care. I'm on call all the time.
You got Tarek running around the city when the clinic's closed. It's go do this, go do that.
Yeah, I care. I have to say, and my clients see that. So I do get a lot of referrals from past clients. And the greatest compliment is a referral. So that's always great.
Do you miss a lot of the boys' hockey games?
I do. I do. I really do.
That's sad. Eh?
Yeah.
Mind you guys are like a hockey family.
You're
playing hockey 6 times a week.
Ty, mostly, I see Ty's because he's a little bit older.
Yeah.
So his is a little bit later.
It's less boring.
But Jawad's, I've missed quite a bit for Jawad.
Right?
I have to admit, it's really bad.
He's got an amazing personality. I know we're going off topic, but your kid, he came up to me the other day, forget what he was saying or his but he looks at you and talks to you like, not like he's your age, but he just got this personality that, man, I don't know what he's going to do when he's older.
I don't know.
We don't know about Runna's personality. Right now, she's like the Tasmanian devil. That'd be her personality. But I can't wait to see what he does in the future. But do you find when, going back to real estate, do you find that you tend to be steering people a certain way? And what I mean by that is if I was looking for a house and you kind of found that where I'm really at is more of a condo and I don't know this or duplex. Like, do you find that you're good at determining what somebody wants without them actually knowing? Like I might want a triple car garage in a house and then you find yourself steering me into a duplex or a condo.
Yeah.
You know, do you find any of that goes on?
Sometimes actually like when I first meet a buyer, they say sometimes, I'm looking for a single family home, something newer. And then we end up buying something completely different, or that person ends up buying something completely. Because I feel like when they're first starting to look, they don't even know what they want. Until we go out there and actually start looking at property, because you need to walk into a home to get a feel of how, the feeling. Do you like it? Do you not? Is it going to work?
It's an emotional decision.
Some people don't even know what the square footage is. Like, what's 1,200 square feet until they walk through it and they're like, oh, it's a little bit too small. Then we know to move up. So we really can't gauge sometimes what they want until we start shopping. But mostly people know what they want, especially families that are upsizing and buying a bigger home. They know more what they want. And it's just a matter of looking at a few to getting an idea of exactly what they want and feeling, making them feel more comfortable.
Okay. Was there a point in real estate where you wanted to give up? Because we've all been there at our jobs.
You know what?
Yes,
I've had, after I had Rana.
Okay.
I had Rana and I was so excited to have a girl.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to be a full-time mom.
I'm going to put up a picture of Rana, by the way, when you're talking about her. So go on. But they have to see. She was wearing my hat the other day.
Yeah,
the OMAR.
right, the OMAR.
I loved it.
I really wanted to be a full-time mom and spend a lot more time with her.
Yeah. I
was super excited to have her, and Tarek and I and the boys are very lucky to have her.
The carpet isn't lucky to have her from the other day.
But yeah, I did. I actually did. In this industry, it's not easy. It's an emotional roller coaster.
Of course.
You go through a lot of ups and a lot of downs.
Yeah.
There's a lot of competition out there. You really have to, nowadays, right now, you really have to distinguish yourself from other realtors because there's so much competition.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of good realtors out there. So honestly, a couple of years ago when I had Rana, I thought about maybe not working full time, not knowing what I want to do. I took some time off.
Did you have something else in mind?
No.
Like, was there another passion that you thought maybe I'd be, or was it always real estate?
It was
or
always
just
real
spending
estate,
more
and it
time
still
with the kids?
is real estate. It was just spending more time with the kids.
That's so awesome that you're so dedicated to it. You know what I mean?
It was just, I wanted to be more at home because I used to work a lot.
You did.
In order to be successful, you have to be available. You have to be available to go and show and come and meet new clients and call.
Tanvir just ditches us at like drop of a hat sometimes.
You really have to be available. When somebody calls you on a Sunday afternoon, when Tarek is taking Jawad to hockey and I have to go show a house, that would hurt sometimes because I would be like, oh, I'm missing his hockey game again. So
you're sacrificing quite a bit.
Yes, you are. You know, so but now I'm at a place where that's one of the reasons why I became an independent realtor.
Now you can balance
and now I can balance and set my own schedule. And I love getting the referrals from my past clients and people that I've worked with, and anybody that's willing, that's wanting a free home evaluation or wanting an idea of what they can expect when you buy. Any questions, any help, I'm available. Call, text, email. But I set my own schedule now, and I make sure that I have time for my family. And that was my main goal. My kids and my family and my husband are number one priority.
What I really appreciate about you having kids and being able to do this is, coming from a guy like me, no kids, and if I was a realtor leaving the house, I'd almost dictate the mood I'm in leaving the house because there's not much that can change my course of action or how I'm feeling, or
Yeah.
you know, I have, not saying you can fully control it, but you have a little more control.
Yeah.
Where if I was leaving the house and I trip over Rana and hit my head on the floor, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
there's other things at stake that would determine how you feel leaving the house, like for a client or something like that. So I respect that about you, because I know the stuff that you're dealing with at home. And literally when you get in your car and you're going to see a client, you have to, like, when you're talking to a client, they can't see that
No,
she just
yeah.
spilled something in your car or made a mess.
No,
or, you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
So that alone is got to be like a hurdle. You know what I mean?
You know, I have to say, the people that I've been working with and I have worked with over the years have been, you meet some really awesome people. There is people like
understanding in that way, you
I've
mean?
taken Rana to showings before.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Like some really
With
good
no
clients.
crayons, of course.
No.
Yeah.
With some clients of mine, like really good clients of mine that I've known for years. They know all my kids. They've been to my house. You develop relationships, and that's the really nice thing about that.
Yeah.
You meet a lot of really awesome, cool people, and you develop relationships, and they're understanding, and you know, so, and they work around my schedule now. So it's really, really nice.
That's awesome
to see that.
Do you get a lot of repeat?
I do. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I do.
And does it happen more often than people think?
It does happen. It really does happen. It's nice to follow up. Like when I first started real estate, because I was on a team, I really didn't follow up with my clients that as often as I should.
A lot of the marketing was kind of provided.
So I didn't really go out of my way to keep in touch with my clients, because there was always
the
I was
auto
always
emails
moving.
were
Yes.
sent out, and the happy birthdays and
Yes,
stuff like that.
and it's not that you get busy with life, with kids, with this, like things come up. You know, you don't mean to not be in touch. It just kind of happens. Life just kind of happens.
Yeah, for sure.
So now, the last few years, I have been actually keeping in touch. So I'm sending my flyers out. I'm doing my cold calls. People that I haven't talked for a couple of years, I'm calling them, touching base. I'm sending emails. I'm just kind of doing a little bit more follow up that, you know, just to have some interaction more.
Do you find that you get better results now that it's you doing it instead of an auto email?
Yes, it is.
Big time, right?
It really is. There's a big
difference. Because they can feel that personal happy birthday.
Yes,
rather
and they're
than
excited that you called. They're excited that they got an email from you.
That's cool.
You know, thanks for touching base, Erica. What's happening? What's going on? How is life? Like, you know, so it's really nice. The response I've been getting has been really good.
What's up with the competition in real estate? Like that, everybody knows that. It's just like, I personally know, I have 2 realtors in the room right now. I know.
He's not a realtor.
Right?
He's in new home sales.
Stay out of the camera, Tanvir. But, you know, I know 30 off the top of my head that are in real estate.
Yeah,
like, what's with the competition? Is it just because the market has that? Because you find a lot of people fall off as well. Many guys I know started it, then got out of it. What is it about real estate that draws so many competitors to that market?
I think it's a flexibility, and it's the commissions, it's the money.
True,
Obviously, you can make good money. I mean, you can be successful in it. In 2006, when the economy skyrocketed here in Edmonton, we didn't even see that coming. We were in the industry and we didn't even see that coming. But then
and the Oilers were doing really well.
They were. I can't say they're doing really good now. But
No. Do you wish you were back in Calgary, by the way, now? That they're going to probably win the Stanley Cup?
No.
People in Edmonton are going to hate that I said that, but damn, are they doing good.
I know.
It's a good time to be a Calgary Flames fan. I don't hate Calgary. Like,
I don't mind, honestly.
Yeah, I've always said, like, if they win the cup,
kids.
I would be cheering for them. Like, I'm not one of those.
Oh, yeah, me too.
I wouldn't hate on them. I know people would be.
Absolutely. I would say go Flames, go. That's awesome. I'm from Calgary, but I was never into hockey growing up.
Yeah,
so
that's true. You got into hockey now.
I got into hockey now because of Tarek and the boys. But beforehand, I didn't care.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest. So if they win or if they lose, it doesn't faze me.
Yeah.
I just care that my kids play hockey.
Yeah.
So
just get them out of the house once in a while. Stay active.
No, it's a really good sport for them, and they do very well, and it's a great sport for boys.
Awesome. I remember me being in hockey just kept me busy, kept me out of trouble.
Yeah.
Where some of my friends were doing things that probably would have landed me in prison and things like that. I was getting up at 7 a.m. to go to practice.
Exactly.
And my dad was so supportive that way, driving me everywhere. So you and then you make friends at hockey that you keep in touch with, and they're on that same path.
Yes.
And you find that keeps you away from all the bullshit going on, you know, trying to smoke weed at an early age and getting into things that, you know, you shouldn't be doing. You know, so that's good. You can definitely chalk
and it
that up to
teaches them a
hockey.
lot too. It teaches them about waking up in the morning and team
Camaraderie.
You know,
Yeah, of course.
absolutely.
Yeah, that makes sense. So how do people get a hold of you, Erica?
So you can.
We'll put it up on the screen,
Yes,
but give us an idea.
My cell number anytime 780-964-3443. Text me, or you can call me at Erica Ammar. Sorry, you could email me at ericaammar@gmail.com. Text me, email me. Facebook,
You
my
have
website
Facebook as well under your name?
Absolutely, yep.
Okay.
My business name, my website, www.ericaammar.com. Really, there's numerous of ways. Instagram.
Yeah, nowadays it's
there's.
Don't say you couldn't get a hold of me. There's no excuse.
There's
Unless
no
you're
excuse.
missing, there's no way that
But yeah,
you're not
anybody
seeing
that wants to get an idea of what their house is worth, I do free home and market evaluations just to give you an idea of if it's the right time to sell, if you want to sell, maybe we should wait a few months, tips on what you need to do beforehand. If you're a new buyer or an investor starting to build up your portfolio and you want to invest, I would really, really recommend that to a lot of the younger generations, because it's a great thing to do if you can qualify and buy a property at a young age.
Great investment.
It's a great investment, long-term investment,
Yeah.
but you can get renters in there. If you don't want to live in there right away, somebody else can pay your mortgage and you're building equity.
Yeah.
So in 5 years or 10 years, when you go to sell that property, you have equity sitting there, and you can sell and buy something bigger or buy another property.
You're building your credit through
yeah.
your mortgage being paid for you. Essentially. Yeah.
Exactly. Like it's.
So you're not even building your own credit. Somebody else doing it, but
somebody
you're
else
getting
is
in
doing.
there.
You're just building your equity.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, I wish you nothing but the best of luck in the future, as
Thank
always.
Yeah, I have a question.
Yeah.
So I know there's a lot of competition, and I know you don't want to help other people out. But what's some advice for some new realtors coming into the industry, and what's something they can do to help get them their first client?
Turn off the audio first before you answer.
No, honestly, it's not easy coming into the real estate. I joined a team, and that helped me a lot. Join somebody, work under somebody, learn, because you really need to know what you're doing in order to sell real estate. You can't just jump in and go sell a property and evaluate it. You need to have that experience. You need to have that knowledge behind you. So I would definitely recommend to work with somebody.
Shadow somebody. It's like picking a good school.
A lot of people are assistants to realtors before they become a realtor, and that opens their eyes a lot. And because when you take the test and we do the exam in class, it's nothing like real life.
Yeah.
Like in school.
Like in school, yeah. So that's what I would recommend for sure.
Okay, awesome. And if people have extra cash, what's something that you recommend investing in? Do you think like condo, renting it out, single family, renting it out, or do you think like question. Infills, or like what do you?
So I would recommend the investors that I work with. I recommend half a duplex if you can qualify up to around the 300. A half a duplex, 250 to 300, because they're great rentals. They're really, really easy to rent out. Great rentals. Condos are really good as well, as long as the building's well managed. And it's even a condo to start off is an excellent one. 150 to 200. Condo fees are reasonable. The mortgage is reasonable, and you can rent them out to like younger couples or students coming out. So townhouses, half a duplexes, condos, something like that. If you are financially okay and can buy a single family house and eventually move into it in the next couple of years, that would be great to buy a single family house. But for investors starting off, condos, townhouses, or duplexes.
One more time, phone number.
780-964-3443. Anybody looking to buy or sell in Calgary, my sister sells at Maxwell South Star Realty in Calgary, and she's literally a copied image of me. So give her a call.
A little bit taller though.
Yeah, a little bit taller.
Okay.
1403-618-0748.
And her name?
Tamira Abultaif.
Erica. Good to see you.
Good to see
I'm
you
coming
too.
over for dinner tonight.
Okay, sounds good.
Get the hummus ready. Okay, bye, honey.